Beautiful people of planet Earth, when recording audio, you know clarity is everything. So as you're aware, we do like to review mic isolation shields here, as you may need to minimize unwanted noise or interference, especially when you're utilizing a condenser microphone in a not so well treated space. A microphone isolation shield can ensure you capture only what matters, which is your voice, not your fans, not fans like people that cheer for you, but air conditioning fans and things like that. This is the XTUGA Microphone Isolation Shield. It says burner on it, which is like, whew, all right, XTUGA Burner Isolation Shield, let's go. I'd like to tell you that XTUGA has sent me this product so that I could do a video like this, but I assure you the opinions that I express on this video are all my own. I've already put together a lot of this, but I'm going to show you how the last panel works and then how the microphone bracket is hooked in there. So if you pick this up and you need instructions on how this works, relatively simple, but I've got a few sort of pro tips in putting it together as I put together most of it. And then we're going to test it with a condenser microphone. In fact, we're going to test it with an XTUGA microphone that works with it, which is a condenser microphone. You can compare the isolation. This is a somewhat treated studio. I've got carpeting on the floor, some sound treatment, and it's not necessarily production level studio, but it's good enough, but you will be able to hear some noise, and you'll be able to hear how this microphone isolation shield works with it. Let's get to it. All right, so you're going to get 5 of these panels that come with it. The thing I like a lot about this is the versatility. Now, the outside of it is plastic. It's got a Star Wars feel to it, which is pretty cool. So you've got the foam inside, which is red, but the foam outside, that's the outward facing, that's underneath this plastic grill is red. So that's a cool vibe. And then you've got your foam isolation treatment. There is supposedly 3 different levels. I'm not going to pull this apart. This is in there pretty well, but there's a three-ply sound treatment there. This is the versatility I'm talking about. I have not seen an isolation shield that does this, but once we get all of the panels together, you can see you can go upright like most of them do, but you can also bring it back some and then bring it all the way down so that it is fully enclosed, so your microphone is fully enclosed. So I've already put together 4 of these panels, and then I'm going to put together the 5th and give you a bit of a pro tip on putting it together, speed through that last panel, and then we'll start testing this thing out. All right, so here are 4 of the 5 panels. I'll give you a top-down look, and you can see when you put everything down, and I'll put the 5th panel on right here and be able to show you that. But you can see the XTUGA logo here. This lets you know, okay, the microphone is going to be bracketed, and it's going to be bracketed inside here. So you can see down here at the bottom, which will be part of this, we'll be taking off these 3 screws and then mounting a bracket, and then that's where your microphone is going on right there. The tip here on putting these panels together is they do fit together, like where you've got to slide in this to this, and both the top and the bottom, and then you're going to take a bolt and a nut and you're going to screw that into the top. They do give you all the tools, by the way. You don't have to worry about that. And then you get this little hex wrench to be able to get that down, screwed in there and nice and tight. What you do, and what I found that the best way to do this is, I'm going to stand up, but the best way to do this is to use gravity to your advantage here. I'm going to try not to push any buttons on my studio table here. And I'm going to put that in the top like this. I'm going to speak louder because I'm moving the microphone away from my mouth. But you can see you want to get that in there to where you can start to see the light there. And that's what you're going to, and usually if you pull it pretty tight, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And what I'll do is I'll screw this bolt onto this nut onto the bolt some so that you've got some of it threaded already. You want to do this manually. It's a little easier for you to do this and pull it in there, get the bottom in there at the same time. It's a little easier, and get it to where you can see how you can, now I can take this and start to thread it in there manually. And then once I get it started going through the hole, that's when I could start to use the wrench and get that moving downward more easily. And that way you know, okay, this thing's going through the hole. I don't have to really worry about holding it. I can just get it going down into that spot and get it threaded down into it. We'll speed through this because we're going to do the same thing for the bottom and get this all in. All right, now it looks like we're cooking with Pam. No, it looks like I'm gonna have to, I missed one. Okay, we'll have to do one more here. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And so now you can see the way this is working. So the bracket that you're going to use, that the parts go together like this, very easy instructions. You basically screw these up from the bottom, and that this bracket is going to go on here, and you could see this hole right here will slide under this. So I'll remove these 3 screws, and then we'll slide this under here, and then mount it here, so that you can use the microphone inside and under this mic isolation shield. We'll mount the microphone. And you can see how this is mounted, and then from here, plug in USB-C. And we will plug in our headphones. All right, welcome to Noise Reduction. I'm recording this with it inside of the isolation shield. And this is a condenser microphone, and I have it set on the cardioid function. So it's really just taking my voice out from it. Now, from a video perspective, obviously this doesn't look great. This is really just so that you can still see me, but you can also hear as I get close to it how this is affecting the voice. As I get closer to it, my voice has less chance to bounce off of anything. It's because it's basically just going right into it. Now, if I were to close the tops of this, it's even less, right? And I would bring this in here, and I've got it moved as far as I can to the front of the bracket. And now I can close this top a little bit more, but it still is touching the top of that microphone. So I don't want to do that. Sorry about that popping noise. I didn't know that was going to do that. So you can see from this back camera as I'm recording this, I've got that microphone inside of this with a condenser mic. This is the XTUGA X4 microphone with the XTUGA Isolation Shield called the burner. And I'm going to move this to the side. Now, all of this handling noise that you're hearing, obviously you'd want to be careful about all of that. This is really just to be able to have it stand by itself, be able to do voiceovers. Maybe you're recording an audiobook, something like that, where you don't necessarily need the video, you just need the audio. This would allow for you to get a much richer, crisper sound to your voice without any of the outside fans. I'm going to get quiet for a second so you can hear what this sounds like with the isolation shield on it. I'm going to close it in some. You can get it right in there, and basically you're as isolated as you possibly can inside. This is a condenser microphone, so you do have to be careful about things like plosives. So you may need to get a pop filter on the front of it so you don't get those plosives that you're hearing as I get closer to the microphone, but it is a somewhat sensitive microphone. There you go. That is the XTUGA mic isolation shield. It's almost like I'm in a Star Wars movie, so to speak. And the microphone, the XTUGA X4 microphone, looks like it would be Batman's microphone or maybe Darth Vader's microphone. But there you go. I hope this video helps you. Certainly, if you've got any questions or any comments for us, hit us up and we'd be happy to answer them. And we hope this video helps you.